Hey guys, happy Tuesday night. Hope everyone's having a good night. I'm here at the office, literally about to run out the door and go home and call it a night. But I just thought I'd make this quick video and give you a little bit of insight. This is definitely a conversation we've had quite frequently over the last couple of weeks. Scratch that, over the last couple of months, especially in Q1, with regard to getting your property ready for the market. Now, specifically, getting the property photo ready and open home ready. Now, to truly be able to help, of course, myself or one of the team would have to walk through and actually point out things. It's actually something that we do for every property. We walk throughout the entirety of the property and make a big checklist and go remove this, change this, etc. It is vital. But of course, without having the privilege to do that with you guys, I've come up with 6 tips. Number 1, decluttering. I know everyone talks about decluttering, but it is absolutely vital. Simply the removal of the day-to-day items that you have, on your kitchen bench, removal of the kettle, the toaster, just pieces of paper, bills, magnets off the fridge, stuff like that. It really does help, guys. It's quite astonishing when you have a before and after photo of a room and what it looks like pre and post decluttering. It's quite amazing, guys. Number 2, and it plays into decluttering, is the removal of personal items. Now, there is a big reason why we do this. Actually, there's 2 fundamental reasons why we do it. Number 1 is, as you are our client, guys, we're there to protect you and sell your property, and of course keep yourself and your life and your family private from the buyers. And it's all about making sure you have that personal space between buyers who come through the property. Now, the other reason, guys, is when a buyer comes into your property as an agent and as part of the whole idea of making sure that the marketing and everything looks perfect, it's all about making sure that a buyer comes into the property, falls in love with the property, but it mentally and emotionally moves themselves into the property. I.e., if you have personal items out in the property, when a buyer walks through and they see those items, they're then picturing yourself and your family in that home. Now, if they walk in and those personal distractions aren't there, they can then start to picture themselves. It's something so little and subtle, and yet it really means the world, guys. Now, number 3, and this is a bit of a funny one because no one talks about it, but fragrance or smell. Now, of course, you want to make sure that you remove any bad odors or anything like that from the property and make sure that it smells nice. But there are certain touches that you can do to make sure that there is an emotional attachment that comes with these fragrances, because it's a really funny thing whereby sometimes you can smell a perfume or a cologne or a type of maybe food, and it just takes you to another place. One smart and very nice idea is doing things like baking fresh cookies, or having a beautifully roasted lamb roast in the oven. Something like that, guys. Sometimes it really does change the dynamic and the feel of the home. It really makes it a home, because a buyer can really picture themselves on a Sunday, having a lamb roast, or having the kids eat cookies. It really allows that emotional attachment to really become engraved into the property. Now, number 4, color schemes. Now, it's important that when you have the property, number 1, stick to neutral tones. Neutral tones do a few things. 1, they allow the property to actually look a lot bigger. And number 2, you're not segmenting your market to people who only like your taste of color. But the other thing that neutral tones and certain color schemes allow you to do is Hide little things that you don't want to buy to notice. I.e., if you have a room downstairs that's pretty dark, or isn't as bright as the rest of the house, having items in that room that are a lot brighter and neutral allow the room to, one, look bigger, and it just brightens it up a bit. Again, it's one of those things that you have to really be there to explain, and you really have to walk through. Now, just on color schemes, also it allows you to set the tone of the house. I.e., if you live on a house that has a lot of greenery, having those subtle tones of greenery within the house allows the buyer to walk through the property and actually feel the connection between the outside and the inside. Or if you're going for a beachy theme and you have a really nice outlook, having beachy items just allows you to really hone into the whole idea and the style and the feel. It's such a subtle thing, guys, but it really helps it, and of course it makes your photography look fantastic. On that, and of course coming from that, is furniture and styling. Now, one really big thing that we do quite a lot actually is when you're having your property done, we always recommend styling, because obviously as an agent I have a little bit of an eye for it, but it's not my forte, and therefore I'd feel a lot more comfortable recommending a stylist for you. But styling in furniture and the semblance and the way in which you have the furniture really tends to dictate how a buyer feels and of course moves through the property. Now, example, if you have a beautiful deck that leads out from the kitchen, it's a good idea sometimes to have the dining table in line with the kitchen bench leading out to the kitchen. This and subtleties like this allows the flow of where buyers are moving to flow out onto the balcony. It gives a perception too of less segmentation in the house, i.e. if the table was going the other way, it's a mental block, as opposed to the normal flow. Again, it gets really heady, and it's something that I really have to explain in person. But furniture is vital, guys, and not just the flow of the furniture, but also the look, guys. It's got to match the overall look of the house, the overall feel, the color schemes. There is a lot there to speak about in that topic. Of course, another one, and it's the last one for tonight, and I'll try give you more in later videos, but it's gardening. Simple things, guys, like pruning and trimming back the garden, and mulching the garden really just brighten up the property, and of course allow for that first impression when a buyer comes into the property. First impressions count, guys. So it is one of those things. I would suggest that if you are going to be pruning and trimming things, I would actually do it at least a week or two prior to the photos. Just means that maybe you have a very big tree next to the property. It just removes the buyers really picking up on the pruning and maybe using that as a negative on the property. But of course, there's six things there, guys. I mean, it's a topic that can go on for a while, and it's always dictated by the property itself. But there's 6 things, guys: decluttering, removal of personal items, fragrances and smells, odors, color schemes, furniture and styling, and simple gardening. If there's anything you guys want me to talk about, any topics you want me to cover, anything you want help on, by all means give me a call anytime. The number is 0401 822 and of course we're always contactable, guys, and always ready to help. Thank you so much. Have a good night.